Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Ready?
I think so. I've never done this before, so here
Episode 37, Sports, Wheels, and Reels. I'm Austin. She's Jeff Miller for today. We've not had you on camera before.
Yep.
Not on this show. You've been on camera on like our socials here and there, but this is Ashley Bales. She is our producer, our social media manager. What is your official title? We have weird titles here.
It's kind of long. It actually doesn't even fit like fully on my badge. It's
I'm not wearing a badge.
Social media and special projects manager.
Okay. So she's our Facebook person and our Twitter person and our Instagram person and our TikTok person. And just a little heads up, right, Ashley, we need you to be following us on all those socials because we got big prizes coming down the road for people that might be following us.
That is true.
That might rhyme with Ronovan Rachel Rurzies.
That is a thing.
Speaking of Ronovan Rachel, we'll talk about his return this week to Salt Lake City. Talk about Utes and Cougars news. Also, the Not Twins baseball story that has me just speechless. Talk about that. Also, the Auto Expo is beginning today. And the results of our Suba Blues Vault opening last weekend. Yes. We'll also talk about a docu-series I've been watching on Netflix and what movies are coming out this weekend. It's all up next, episode 37. Stay tuned.
My name is Donna Maturo McAleer, and my Subaru is serving our community. I think Mark Miller Subaru makes service easy and convenient, being able to make appointments online or by phone. And I love the opportunity for pickup and drop off if the car is going to be serviced for a lengthy period of time. Subaru is the brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
All right, time for sports, Ashley. Are you a sports fan? You are, kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda or really?
Like, kinda.
Okay.
Kinda.
Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, I played basketball.
You're from Nebraska, right?
Unfortunately.
Oh, well, you're a military kid.
Yeah.
So you're
but that's
from
where I
the world.
lived the longest, so.
That's where you claim at
I don't
home?
know if I claim it, but
it claims you?
me, yeah.
So, basketball. Okay, so because you're constantly tweeting from our Sports Wheels and Reels and Mark Miller stuff about sports. Are you just trying to? Are you just trying to be?
I'm just trying to do good at my job.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
By the way, manager of the year in her first. You weren't even here a full year yet.
It's been 10 months.
And you won manager of the year. No big deal.
Crazy.
All right, Donovan Mitchell came back. The reception was warm, mostly. There were a few lunatics, but mostly it was a warm reception. There were no real fireworks, nothing too inflammatory said either way. He did clear up a few of the things he had said recently about the state of Utah and clarified that he's not talking about everyone in Utah that has problems with, like racist problems, but that's still a problem and we need to address it and be better at it. And anyway, our legislature did not do any favors by him not wanting to stay here long term. And that's just fine. But it was a great game. The Jazz won. Donovan had a good game, had a warm reception back. All in all, that's a good night for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, win. That's great.
Did you see the video tribute they made for Donovan?
I saw quite a few.
Yeah.
The Jazz they did a great job across their social media as making sure that,
They should, because he's and this is going to sound a little wild to some people, he's a top 5 franchise player. Like, he is one of the 5 best players the Jazz have ever had. And someone was talking about, should they retire his jersey and this and that. I don't know if retired jersey is such a stupid thing anyway. We turn these humans into these altar gods that we idolize. But why not? Why not? He's one of the 5 best players to ever put on that jersey for the Utah Jazz. So there should have been warm reception and welcome backs. It was a good thing, and I'm glad that the Jazz won because it's fun to see the Jazz win. Now, that being said, the Jazz are all over the news this week, Ashley, when it comes to trades. The trade deadline is approaching in about, I think it's like 49, 50 days from now. The All-Star game will be here in Salt Lake City.
Oh, fun.
And the Jazz are now rumored to be looking at trades involving Jordan Clarkson. There was talks of contract discussion, contract extension with Clarkson. He apparently, according to sources in the media, wants $20 million a season, which is a lot of money. It would be so nice. Yeah. And so now those talks didn't fall apart. They just didn't. They ended. He wants $20 million a year, and the Jazz aren't in a position to give someone of his age $20 million a year, I don't think. So now he's showing up in trade talks, along with Mike Conley, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, a first-round pick, all these sorts of things. John Collins of the Hawks seems to be the most talked about opportunity for the Jazz. One thing I learned in 13 years in sports media is that the deal that gets talked about the most is actually the deal that's not going to happen.
Really?
Yeah. It's especially with the Utah Jazz. When it involves the Jazz, there is so many smoke screens that get put out there to distract from the real thing. Or these deals have been talked about weeks ago and are just now coming to light publicly, and it's already dead.
Makes sense.
I've just learned that if it's being talked about now, it's probably not real. That's just but I think they are sellers. I think the Jazz are looking to sell a little bit. They have maybe overperformed to this point of the season, and they really need to underperform the rest of the way to get a good draft pick. Not that they're getting bad draft picks, but they want a top 5 draft pick.
That's fair.
What do you make of losing, getting rewarded with better draft picks?
If that's the way it goes, sometimes you just gotta play the game.
I hate it. I hate that.
I mean, it doesn't.
It promotes being bad. I do not like it. I think that they should take the 10 worst teams at the end of the season and have them play a tournament, and the winner of the tournament gets the top draft pick.
Yeah.
So be bad all season,
Right.
but then be good.
Yeah, then you gotta prove yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. But thanks for humoring me. You're nicer than Jeff.
I'll try.
Jeff would be like, "That's so stupid." Blah 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 blah.
Is that what I should say? That's so stupid, Austin.
Stupid's not nice. Please don't say that about me.
You're right. You are correct.
The Utes, they have announced that a lot of their football players are coming back next year. Cam Rising, quarterback. Thomas Yasmin, tight end. My mind just went blank. Devon Vele, wide receiver. On and on and on. A lot of these guys that were on the brink of maybe leaving for the NFL or possibly even transferring elsewhere have decided that they're going to return to the Utah football team next year. Cam Rising with his knee injury, I don't know if he's going to start the season. I think he is going to be the incumbent starter, but I don't think he'll be healthy when the season begins. We will see. But good news for the Utes, at least trying to piece it together one more time, trying to win a third straight Pac-12 South title, go to a third straight Pac-12 championship game, and possibly Rose Bowl. Maybe the third time's the charm to win that thing.
Maybe.
So good news there, I think, for Utah fans. BYU basketball ended their conference affiliation, regular season conference play against Gonzaga last night. They were up on the number 6 team in the country by, I think, 13 at one point, 12 or 13. They ended up losing by 1. And Gonzaga got another heartbreak win over the BYU Cougars. The next time BYU plays Gonzaga might be in the conference tournament if they play to that level. I don't know about BYU basketball. But the next time they schedule Gonzaga should be the 5th of never. They should never again schedule Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a powerhouse school that shouldn't be a powerhouse school. They're in the middle of nowhere, Washington. They have no draw for like other than they built up this program to be an NBA feeder, and there's no beach, there's no cool mountains, there's no draw to that school other than the basketball team. And BYU got stuck in this conference with them and could not get over that mountain. And now BYU is going to the Big 12, which is arguably the hardest basketball conference in the country. BYU does not need to be scheduling Gonzaga ever again. Does them no favors. Are you a Gonzaga fan?
Nope.
Did you ever live in Washington?
I did. I was actually born there.
Really? What part?
Spokane.
That's where Gonzaga is.
That's probably why my grandpa was a big fan.
Yeah, probably so.
But I moved when I was like little, so yeah. I was a big Boise State fan because I lived there. That's just,
The only good thing about Boise State is that's where you can go to Albertsons still. They still have Albertsons in Boise.
It's true.
I miss Albertsons.
Albertsons is great.
All right. Finally, I showed you the picture. We're going to put it up here. Those those baseball twins. They're not twins.
Are they related?
Their name is both Brady Feigl, spelled the same. Feigl on the last name, Brady on the first name. Brady Feigl. As you see in the picture, both wear glasses, both have red hair, both have beards. Their noses, eyes, chins, cheeks, and ears are the exact same shape. For years, they've been mixed up with each other. One plays for Long Island, one played in the San Diego Padres system. I forget where he plays currently. And for years, people would mix them up on social media, in person. One time, one of them got called and said, "Hey, you're late for your surgery. Where are you?" And he's like, "Well, I had that surgery 6 months ago." He had the same surgery.
No.
But it was 6 months prior. So they finally decided, okay, enough is enough. We're going to take a DNA test. And guess what?
What?
They're not even related. What a letdown, right? I thought for sure it was gonna be like they were separated at birth. They're actually brothers. It was such a letdown.
There's like no connection.
None. They are from different continents.
Whoa.
They're both from European descent, but one is British and one is Scandinavian. Crazy, just absolute crazy story. And look at that picture again. They are exact, identical twins. Like, if one of them committed murder, the other one could pay for it.
Oh, 100%.
They even have the same glasses in this picture.
Right.
It's unbelievable. Like, if you put their faces on top, their faces are 5 stars, like a pentagon shape. Anyway.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I was so let down.
That'd be a cool story if they were,
It was.
separated or
they should have lied. Someone should have lied about it. Be like, yep, you were separated at birth.
Been so good.
Now it's just
Now it's just
there's
odd.
a glitch in the Matrix.
Weird. Yeah.
And the clones are being made and we don't know about it. Yeah. Wait till you run into your clone. Have you ever run into someone where you were like, oh my gosh, I can see why someone would?
No.
So I've never met them in person. Now, I've got a very generic look. I'm a white guy with a bald head and a beard and glasses. If you pixelate my face, I'm anyone in America, honestly.
Just about.
But there's a guy named Dave Dufour. He's on Twitter. They call him the coach. He's a basketball pundit. And he and I look like we could be separated at birth.
Yeah.
And it's pretty uncanny, actually. Our voices even sound the same, which, sorry, Dave, your voice sounds like mine. Little Kermit the Frog action. All right, coming up next in Wheels, we're heading down to Sandy for the Auto Expo. We might, fingers crossed, hear from Jeff Miller if he's got a second at the Auto Expo. If not, we'll tell you what's going on down there and who won the $2,500 from Blues Vault last week. Stay tuned.
My name is Bobby Staples. I love dirt roads, saving our public lands, and my Subaru is off-road ready. The Subaru Outback Wilderness is built for people like me. From the factory, they were built rugged with the 9.5 inches of ground clearance. I know that I can get anywhere that I need to without hesitation. What I love about Mark Miller Subaru is the moment I walk in, I feel like I'm a part of the family. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
Time for Wheels. Ashley Bales, it is the Utah International Auto Expo. You say that 3 times fast.
Rather not.
Just the auto show. I like it's at the auto show at the Expo Center in Sandy. Come on down. Today it has begun, the 13th. It'll go through Monday. I had the hours listed here. It's going to be today, Saturday, Sunday. Today and tomorrow it's 10 to 9, and Sunday and Monday it's 10 to 8 at the Southtown Expo Center, which is now the Mountain America Expo Center. Your tickets are $13, 13 years older, and 13 years and older, $13. On site, they are $15. So military, $6, and senior citizens, $6. I think anyone under the age of 13 is free.
And our employees, if you work here, are free.
No, that we are. Mm-hmm. I got a bone to pick with somebody.
Uh-oh.
Because
I shouldn't have said that.
I've been assigned to work 4 hours at the auto show on Monday. Come by, talk to me, say hey. Don't
see him in
don't
real
murder
life.
me, please. And I had to buy my ticket.
No.
Yes. I got a
you weren't here
$5
yesterday.
ticket.
You missed our all staff meeting because
Yeah.
they talked about it on there.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, you need to talk to somebody because they told us it was free. Because I'm going today after this.
I used to work at a place that made you pay to park every day if you didn't get there on time. Anyway. All right, so the Expo Center, the auto show. Now, here's the real reason to come see us. We have, let's see, I just closed, I think there's like 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 20 cars, Subarus. New, brand new, never touched, never driven. There at the Expo Center for you to touch, look at, get in. Some of them will be available for test drives. All of them, except for the ones that have already got a deposit on them, are available for sale.
Oh.
The reason you want to do this is while we are getting more new cars coming in that are unspoken for here at the lot every week, we're not getting a ton. It's like 1 here, 3 there, 2 here, 1 there. This is the spot that if you've been waiting to see the 2023s in person, this is the place to go because they're there. You can get in them. You can touch them. You can try some stuff on them. Ask your questions about them. Why, in my opinion, the 23 is better than the 22? In a lot of ways, actually. And it looks alone. So that's why you want to come to the Expo Center. Also, it's a good time. Apparently, they serve alcohol, which is something I didn't know about.
Interesting.
I don't know how you can be under 13 at a place that serves alcohol, but that's for the Utah DABC to decide. I don't know what else to say there.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's a Zion curtain somewhere, some silliness. Don't let the children see the alcohol.
Right. As long as it's over here, it's fine.
So, yeah, don't let them see it. So come on down this weekend through Monday and check it out. All right, you were at Proper Burger a week ago tonight.
Yeah.
For the opening of Suba Blues Vault. Now, a lot of our podcast listeners were the ones that won the keys to unlock the vault. Mm-hmm. We did 7 of these. I think 3, if not 4, were won by podcast followers.
I think a lot of them were. They were a lot. Once we started announcing that I was going to be on the podcast, a lot of people started going straight to the podcast to get it before waiting
and hearing it from the public.
And it would be found before we released the clue on social media. I think like 9 times out of 10. I think there was only 1.
Well, there weren't 10 times.
Okay.
There were 7 times.
1 out of 7.
So 6 out of 7 were our listeners?
I'm pretty sure people were dedicated.
We are not above bribing you to listen to our show. Yeah.
It was crazy. I actually went and watched them find the 7th key.
Okay.
I was hiding.
With the key?
No.
Oh.
The
Did
key
you
was
video
out there. No.
Way to go, social media manager.
I felt a little, I started to.
Felt a little creepy?
They were quick. So we had.
Were you dressed as a bush?
No.
In a ghillie suit?
I was in my Subaru. So.
Your new Subaru that you bought from a great product specialist.
100%.
Unlike Nate
and
Lindquist.
And it's amazing. And I love it so much.
Bought from a second-rate amateur.
But yeah, no, it was super fun. They had their son out there.
Yeah.
They had their son out there.
Oh, good.
He was actually he found the key, the last key, and it was really fun, like getting to talk to them. I ran up to them and congratulated them. And
It's not. I wish we did stuff like that more.
yeah.
But it's fun to when we get those events, the Share the Love event. So which key unlocked the vault last Friday?
So it was a family that actually had 2 keys. So we had. So this one we allowed everyone to basically find as many keys as you can.
Someone could have found
If you-
all 7.
You're guaranteed.
I like that.
One family actually found 4 of the keys. Yeah.
The same family?
Yeah. So it was a family and they would split up. So they would both get in different cars. Like they were ready. They had podcasts on, like notifications. They wanted
that 2,500.
Oh, 100%. They told me like their whole spiel on how they did it every Friday.
Nice.
But it was a family that found 2 of the keys. They found.
It wasn't the family that found 4 of them?
No.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That would be me. I'd find 6 of the 7 and not win.
Yeah. But no, the family that won, they found the key at VOA and
Volunteers of America for the
Yes.
uninformed.
And then they found key number 2, which was at Proper. And so we went in order from how they were found. So the first one was Malinois. The second one was Proper. And that was the key that opened.
There's a mini buffalo in the waiting room right now.
Holy cow.
There's a bull mastiff dog. I love those dogs. Big, gentle beasts.
Just chilling, just hanging out.
They're giants, but they think that they're lap dogs.
Well, look at his head.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's the dog from Sandlot. It's Hercules.
100%.
I'll let my brother had a bull mastiff. Look at his tail wagging. Just a lovely, lovely breed. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Dogs.
A buffalo walked in. I had to talk about it. Yeah. So the family that found 2 of the 7.
Yep. They won. So now here's the
Now, how did it work? Because the vault was a key.
No,
code.
so there was a key code, and then there's a little spot that like
to put a
opens
key
to
in?
put a key in
Oh, okay.
and turn it. One, Jeff almost ruined the whole thing.
Way to go, Jeff.
So we opened it to make sure everyone could see, and of course Nate and I ran around and got hundreds for this. So it was a stack. And Jeff opened it up to show everybody, and he went to close it and didn't lock it. And luckily Proper was like, hey, make sure the vault's locked before they start. And so
the first person goes up was like,
yeah,
it's open.
But yeah, so then we went through, second key, opened it, they won, and then we had a geocache item as well too, so they were able to win $500 Visa gift card, and then the family that had the 4 keys actually won that.
Oh, good.
So they got that. And then the coolest part about the whole night, outside of everyone winning things, was there was another family that had found 1 key. And unfortunately, they didn't win the $2,500. They didn't win the $500. But the winner of the $2,500 walked over and gave them $100 out of their $2,500.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like, we were all like, that's amazing. Like, yeah, so it's really cool to see, like, the people that participate.
When's the documentary?
Yeah, it was just like, we were like, what? Like, it was
nice.
so great. Yeah, so it felt really good. Like,
shout out.
Outside of everything.
That's
it was
cool.
Yeah, it was amazing to see. It was really cool.
That's really awesome. It was a fun time. I'm sorry that I closed last Friday.
It's all right.
I
Next
never
time.
close Fridays.
Next time.
I'm always here till 5 on Fridays. We had no babysitter. It was the one time I had to switch shifts with somebody. So next year, I will be there.
Yeah.
Well, good job. Well done to your team. It was a fun 7-week
Well, thank
run.
you guys for putting it out on the podcast first.
I mean, no one can read lyrics and rhymes like Master P. Austin here. All right.
You're correct.
Coming up next, it's time for Reels, a docuseries on Netflix, a review of that, and a preview of what's at the theaters this weekend. Stay tuned.
My name is Sierra Hudson. My Subaru is safety for my family. So this past winter, we hit a black ice and we just started to slide. And it was just one of those moments where you truly feel helpless. I know it's a car, but it means so much more to us and our family. Subaru is one of the safest brands, and I've personally lived that. Subaru is a brand you can trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that you will love.
Time for Reels. Ashley Bales. Do you know who Bernie Madoff was?
Don't ask
Are you
me.
7
about
years old?
people or
When were you born?
1990.
You should know who Bernie Madoff is.
Show me a picture and I probably
No,
know.
you don't. I don't think you know him by picture.
That's how I know people. I'm a photographer, so
What if I said-
know images.
What if I said Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme? Does that ring a bell?
I mean, Ponzi scheme definitely rings a bell. So is it the guy that started that?
He did a Ponzi scheme of like $65 billion. No, it wasn't the guy that started it. Charles Ponzi is who started
Oh, that makes sense.
in the 1920s, I believe. Anyway, Bernie Madoff. God,
I'm sorry.
it's embarrassing.
The last time I'll be on this show, apparently.
The biggest, most lucrative scandal in monies in the history of the world. $65 billion he stole. He essentially ran this. He was a stock market trader who ran a side investment business. And every penny of that investment business, he never invested it anywhere. He just stole it. And he kept moving monies around to make it look like he had the money, but he was really just spending it on stuff. And he went to prison and died in prison. Anyway, fascinating story. Netflix has a docuseries on it right now called Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street.
Oh, okay.
And it's really, really well done. Really well put together. They talk to some of the victims, which just wrenches your heart and wrings it in half. But a really good docuseries. And I would be lying if I said I haven't thought differently about my own fiduciary. Do you know what that word means? Fiduciary. No. I just learned it.
Oh, so really?
I feel very country club-esque. Fiduciary, a person that you trust with your money to manage your wealth.
Yeah.
I have no wealth, but I have some small monies that someday I'd like to retire before I die the next week.
Yeah.
And so I've got this guy that's supposed to be investing I've trusted him, and now I'm like, wait a second. What's this guy up to? Yeah. Why are you always on a beach when I call you? No, he isn't. He's
like, thanks for paying.
All right, in theaters this weekend, 2 big movies. A Man Called Otto, the Tom Hanks that's going to get Oscar buzz and talk. A lot of people have really liked it and said it. Bring a box of tissues with you, but it's really funny and heartfelt. You're a Tom Hanks fan, right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound convincing. You know who Tom Hanks is?
Yes.
Okay. Whew.
Can you imagine?
I could. You didn't know who Bernie Madoff is.
But they're like Bernie Madoff, Tom Hanks. Like, come on now. Really? You're going to...
$65 billion. Movies. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Movies wins. Mm-hmm. And also, Gerard Butler. You know who that is?
Sounds very familiar.
There's Nate Lindquist.
Look, he's about to just barge in here.
He's just going to walk in while we're doing a show.
Wow.
God. Only 35 minutes late.
Yeah. The show's over, my guy.
Gerard Butler. You know who that is? From 300. He played the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. He was in London Has Fallen. You would recognize him.
Probably. The name is very familiar.
Gerard Butler. There we go. There's his picture.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
What other movie? Angel Has Fallen, Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, 300, Greenland, Law Abiding Citizen, Last Seen Alive.
Yeah.
He's got a new movie. It's called Plane. And it looks like it might be a giant steaming pile of hooey.
You think?
Or it might be really good. Because it's about an airline, a commercial flight, that has to emergency land, and it lands in the middle of a war zone. And then he goes Rambo and tries to save everyone with one of the air marshals on board, trying to fight them out of the enemy lines. So.
A movie I won't be watching.
All right.
Just not my... I'm actually not a...
You did a great job today until this segment, so feel good about it.
You know?
Watch the docuseries.
When you're the last resort, this is what you get.
Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street, your homework.
Okay.
I'm going to quiz you on Bernie Madoff next week.
Actually, that sounds interesting.
It is actually really good.
I'll probably watch it.
And it's one of these, it's a docuseries where they have dramatic reenactments of what's happening with the actual people talking, narrating over it. Okay. So it's not just some guy in an armchair behind a fireplace talking about the time Bernie Madoff stole all of my stocks from the Palm Beach Club. Yes.
Okay.
Swirling some brandy and rubbing his fuzzy slippers. All right. That's Ashley. I'm Austin. Jeff Miller. we wish you the very best wherever you may be. For the late Nate Lundquist, not late as in like he was late to the show.
Yeah.
It's Lundquist. It's Lindquist. Lundquist. I don't know. Lindquist.
You know how he has himself in his phone?
He has himself in his phone?
Well, like, because you know what? Well, you're,
What a narcissist.
you need to get it.
He has
you need to
himself in his phone?
No, you need to get an
Like an
Apple.
avatar?
Well, so with iPhones,
Do you just laugh at me because I'm old?
No.
At least I know who
I laugh at
Bernie
you because
Madoff
you don't
is.
have an iPhone. You're not an Apple
Never
guy.
will. Never
So,
will be.
With an
Take
iPhone,
that, Tim Cook, or whatever your name is.
you can send like your contacts and stuff, so you have like all your stuff set up. Anyways, his name that he has is Nate, but it's N8.
Like later skater?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. For Skater Boy, Nate and Ashley the uninformed.
That is me.
You're just innocent. I'm glad you don't know who Bernie Madoff is, actually. That's why you're happy. You don't know the bad news of the day.
Right?
I'm the rain cloud Austin Horton. We'll be back next week on Sports Wheels and Reels. Until then, Utah by 5.
Trust me.
Sometimes, trust her.